Hello everyone, this is GameBro64 and I'm bringing you guys a video of a gear setup for my Balance Wizard. Now, for my Balance Wizard, I'm currently in the look of the Wandering White Wizard, Gandalf himself, Gandalf the White. They didn't have gray, but this is the closest Gandalf costume I ever came up with, so this is the one I'm going to rock with because Gandalf is awesome and he's a miracle. And he's a wizard, of course, such as Wizard101, hence the name. But anyways, this is a gear setup of how I run my balance. Now, let me go ahead and show you the stats. How I run my balance is not really much of a tank. He is somewhat of a tank because he does have decent standard resist for a tank. But mainly I run him as a support wizard, and the reason for is because if you haven't noticed, Balance can throw many different blades, like Balance Blade, that's universal, Blade Storm's universal, then they came out with TC of those blades, TC School Blades, TC Tribe Blades, the regular Tribe Blades, and then also a reason why I got my armament pet is for 3 extra sharpened blades plus the regular sharpened blades. So Balance can get a lot of freaking blades up on themselves and other people as well. So I would see Balance mainly as a support wizard, most of all people, but there's some times where when there's solo fights or something like that, I have a hitting set aside. So I'm going to show you the tank set right now, and then I'm going to be showing you the hit set later. And so right now, as a support wizard, I look like Gandalf because Gandalf was a huge support to Lord of the Rings. That's a different story, but that's just what I relate him to. But anyways, these are my stats. Like I said, I don't really try to go for damage. It's just, I guess it was from the rings in my dagger that gave me the damage. Resist, it's good to have for a tank, but mainly I'm not really trying to tank. I'm just trying to tank a little bit, I guess, if you want to say, but mainly it's just throwing blades. So I got the high accuracy so I don't fizzle as much, and then mainly power pip chance because in case I have to throw shatter or something like that, I want to get my power pips up there so I can do that. Masteries, those are really good to have, so that's why I focus on power pip chance. Armor piercing still high. I don't necessarily need it in case I'm like trying to throw like a wand or something. I don't know. Block is pretty decent. It's just average since they messed up the whole block system. It's only 48%. I probably can go higher, but this is just my standard setup that I usually run. I don't rely on block so much because I run with a healer, and then I somewhat rely on that healer and also my pet to keep me alive. Crit, like I said, I'm not a hitter yet, so I don't really need to focus on it. Right now it's just 1%. 32 in, just so when the healer does heal, I get more incoming and stay alive quicker. And then of course the 5 stun resist in case if I have to throw Conviction TC. It still has that 95 stun resist. Thank goodness KI hasn't nerfed that, but they did nerf the block on that, which is upsetting for Darkmoor. But they still have the 95 stun resist, so the extra 5 makes it 100%. So when I'm throwing blades to the hitter during Darkmoor, I never get stunned, which is fantastic. And then of course I have no gold, but health is almost 6,000. I'm trying to break 6,000, but I need like higher jewels and such. But pretty much these are my standard stats that I rock as a tank wizard. The gear I rock is this hat, just because the standard blade, and also it's I think it's Jade tier 2 or tier 3. I'm not really sure. I think it's tier 2. It's the purple Jade, I'm pretty sure. But I rocked it for the accuracy because I want to power that, the power pip chance, and the blade, of course. I know all the other ones kind of give you more resist, but this one I like it because the accuracy, the power pip chance, which are 2 primaries for a support wizard, and then of course the blade is very useful. The robe, once again, this isn't really a normal blade, it's just a pierce blade, but it's still to everyone, so it can help at times. I rocked it for the power pip chance and the accuracy once again, and it also gives you a little bit of extra block and health. But mainly power pip chance and accuracy, and then that blade, of course, is pretty useful at times. It's only 4%, but hey, that's an extra 4%. That could really help out piercing like any kind of shield or anything like that. Or resist, of course. You know, resist is always a pain when you don't have converts in or anything like that. But I rock these boots because I don't really use the tower as much, but it is there just because if I ever need to throw shields on someone which I don't know why you would. If you got a healer that knows how to heal, you wouldn't really need shields. But accuracy and power pip chance, and then resist and block gives you a little bit of everything that a support wizard really needs. Mainly it's just accuracy and power pip chance, and of course it gives you a card that can really benefit you as a support, whether it's traps or blades or shields or anything like that. That's usually why I use this uniform. Of course, the Teeth of the Lord's Knight, because the block percentage is just really incredible. Block on at 160. I think it's the best block wand in game. I think there's maybe one that's 180 or 175 crit block, but this is the one I got in a pack, and I really enjoyed it, and I always use it. So this is my standard one that I use for just extra block, because apparently the block system's kind of messed up, so it's really good to get more blocks so those minions and mobs don't really crit on you as much. Unfortunately, this can be a PvP set, but for me it's not, because my opinions for PvP has just kind of gone out the window. Not a fan of it anymore. But this is mainly just PvE, so I'm not really too focused on crit, because not many bosses or mobs crit on me, or go crit for that matter. So, but it is there, the 160 is there just to kind of back me up a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have a better dagger. I can go to the dagger in the crown shop that gives you 5 universal resist, which is nice for more tank, but like I said, I'm not going for tank. The power pip chance, the accuracy is really good, the balance accuracy, and then this is also my standard hit wand, because the pierce jewels and the damage, of course, and the accuracy, so I don't have to rotate between daggers as much and lose mana as much. This is my amulet. I also have like other masteries and such. I think I have most of the masteries down: myth, storm, life, ice, death, myth. You know, I already got a myth down here, but the extra blade, you know, I might replace that over the accuracy. But pretty much stun resist, so it keeps me for conviction at 100%. Then the crit and crit block system, a little bit there. Just mainly the Dragon Blade. 2 Dragon Blade cards, 35%. That's like an enchanted balance blade. Really useful. Highly recommend this one for support. It's actually really useful because it's universal too. So it's like throwing a Storm Blade on a Storm when you're not Storm. So the percent, or it's actually better than a Storm Blade. Actually, it's like a Fire Blade. There you go. Put it that way. Ring, I use Alpha Mega, just pretty much the block, the power pip chance. This is also the exact same as my hitting form, hence the pierce jewel on it, but I haven't really found any, like I can have those resist rings in there if I really wanted to, but once again I'm not a tank, but I could have it there if I ever feel like I want it there. But mainly I just rock this because power pip chance, the block, the incoming is really useful in case I need a quick heal, and that's mainly it. The damage I don't really care for as much, because I'm a support wizard, and then that's just energy. This is my pet, double resist. I wish the proof went to 10, but it didn't, sadly. But I got Fairy Sprite and Unicorn. I was trying to get Healing Current so it could help out with the spells as such for Storm, and then also so when I throw Cleanse or something like that, there's not a Dispel on me or anything like that, because my pet has Energizing Heal or whatever it is, the Healing Current, so I can take it off hopefully. But pretty much this is what I got. Like I said, the 3 sharpened blades are very useful. The Fairy Sprite and Unicorn keeps me alive. The Unicorn helps others keep alive, but I don't have a lot of outgoing. But the double resist is just standard for more resist, a little bit extra tanky, but not full on tank. The socket, I could take this up to Mega and throw in like a ward and try to like throw in Storm or Fire, because those are the primary hitters of Wizard 101. Or I can just throw in like something else, like a selfish talent, just to make the 9 a 10 and get maxed out proof. I don't know what I'll do with that socket though, unless they came out with like a Maycast healing spell or something like that are sockets now later in the future. KI picking up on when they watch this video, that'd be interesting. So I definitely would pay attention to that or something like that. Onto the mount. The mount, really, I don't have anything specific for it. They're all 40%. Eventually I might go for like the Celestial, or not the Celestial Steed, but the what is that, the Jewel Crafting Mount or whatever it is, the Pony Unicorn or whatever it is, that gives you 2% accuracy, just because the extra accuracy, why not. Support deck, of course I use the Rasputin one, but it's not, unfortunately, the triangle socket, which I need to get another triangle socket. It's just very difficult to get, so I can get like more power pip chance, which is already at 100%. More accuracy mainly. But yeah, I use this for block percentage and the extra starting pip. That's always a bonus. And then, of course, try to go for the triangle one so you can get the accuracy extra in there, because sometimes those 45 and 50% minus accuracy things that get on you kind of cancels out you from throwing your blade. But anyway, onto the deck setup. This is usually what I run. I run 2 potent traps and 4 feints, mainly because if I'm facing 2 bosses or if I hit a boss, I usually throw a potent feint and regular feint, and then if it doesn't die, I'll throw a potent feint and regular feint again without reshuffling. And as a support wizard, it's good to build your pips, so that's why I have empowerment in case we get nailed a lot by like meteor or something. I have stun block just in case for me, the healer, and for someone else who can't get up stun blocks. And then reshuffles, mainly because not a lot of people carry reshuffles or know what reshuffles do, but it, like it says, reshuffles all cards back into your deck, so you can just reuse them instead of having to rock a full deck or anything like that. I carry no wands, unfortunately. If there was a place that I needed to carry wands in or something like that, I could carry a few, but mainly I rock Shatter in my TC, just because shields and such, it just eliminates it real quick. Blades, of course, I rock 3 sharpened blades and then 2 balanced, or well, 3 balanced blades for this instant. Let me get rid of that. There you go. 2 balance blades, 2 blade storms, and 2 sharpened tri. Mainly my primary hitters are fire and storm, hence the elemental tri blades. But I rock 3 sharpened blades so I can enchant 1 of them each and then throw a regular one of each. Oh, that's why I rock 3s, because I have sharpened blades. Oh, silly me. But I rock that stuff because it's the primary setup for most of it, and blades give you more than traps. Sometimes it goes back and forth, but mainly it's just blades because you can't throw these traps on more than one enemy. Like you can, but it'll take time. Blades are usually the standard setup. But yeah, that's pretty much why I run that. And then of course I have my amulet blade and then my uniform blade, and then that's also uniform blade, but I don't really need a lot of 4% pierce blades because they usually rock the those spear blades that are like 6% or whatever. Of course, I don't use the tower shield, the normal wands, but I do use the sharpened blades, and I don't like to throw doubles of these. I only like to throw 1, and then of course I do have a reshuffle if I desperately need one or anything like that. This is my TC storm. Right now I'm set for. I do carry 2 TC feints, 4 cleanses, because cleanses are important as a supporter. You never know when you might need a cleanse or anything like that, especially if you're facing fire with Ifrit or gnomes on life or anything like that that's really annoying, and a pest or anything like that. Those cleanses can come really in handy. Even when you're fighting like a balance with like Lore Master, I don't know why they would throw that, or Power Nova or whatever it is. Just anything like that. Convictions, just because the 100% stun resist thanks to the 5 on the jewel and also more block. Shatter, of course, is important just in case they throw unwanted shields on there and you desperately want to kill them and you don't have many traps or blades up on boss or on your hitter. Just throw a shatter real quick and it eliminates everything. And of course multiple blades, because why not? You know, you're trying to kill the person. The only way to kill them is set up and kill and hit big. So yeah, that's my support deck, and that's pretty much everything. That's all my gear. And these are my stats. So this is just my setup right quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this video and create another one showing you my damage setup in case I have to go into like solo fights or mob fights, I guess, if you really want it. But typically when you think of a balance as hitting, you don't really want them to hit when it's like Rasputin, Darkmoor, Omen. I wouldn't choose a balance to hit rather than a storm unless their stats are incredibly good and that storm has like 39 damage and he's a 110. That's pretty bad. Then I probably will choose the balance. But most of the time they're rocking Malistaire gear because that's like the best gear in the game right now. It is the best gear in the game. Or the one-shot gear, some of that, little bits and pieces of that. But pretty much, yeah, I don't see him mainly as a hitting wizard. I know a lot of people like to run him as a hitting wizard or not. Personally, I don't see him as one because he doesn't hit that hard until he gets sharpened blades. For me, when I got sharpened blades, I started doubling percentages and doubling the number that I usually hit at and such, because the sharp blade really helps out for balance. But Mainly, he's a support wizard, and I really like him as one. And pretty much, he's the Gandalf, man. He's the Gandalf support wizard. He's balanced. He's awesome. I love him. Definitely recommend this wizard. He is a little slow if you're ever soloing with him and you don't have a lot of damage or anything like that. He is a little slow working with, and he's a little bit of a pain to work with. But some of his spells do work out, like Bubble Pop, Mana Burn, or Lore Master if you feel like you want to spam that on mobs. But Judgment, that's a pretty fun spell. There's a lot of fun spells in it, but he's really good, especially when you get him up to max and you get him the good gear and such. He becomes really fun to use, and you really get those awesome pets going and everything like that. But overall, he's a great wizard. I highly recommend him to any person that doesn't really feel like hitting is their strong suit, and they mainly just want to kind of support and help out the team or help out random people or anything like that. If they're like those helping friendly people, then a balance is really recommended for them, because they will really love to see what a balance can do. And some balances, for their training points, I have 13. Some balances, they rock every single dispel for all the schools and every single mass converts for all the schools. For my balance, I rock healing sometimes if I ever have to heal because we don't have a life or anything like that, or if everyone needs to go in there and everyone needs something but no one can bring life. So that's why I rock heal sometimes. But mainly it's just dispel and converts and such like that. That's what most storm or balances use that are support. But I rock blades and traps and feints and such. So that is your quick little setup for balance real quick, and what I rock and what I found most suitable to me. I hope it finds suitable to you guys. If you guys have any questions or would like any more details about how to rock it, or show you a quick tutorial of when to use certain things in certain situations and such, comment that down in the description below, or not description below, the comment section below, and I'll get back to you on that. So thank you everyone for watching. This is balance support video for PvE, which is player versus environment, not PvP. That might be more of a tank kind of thing. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the balance hitting video. So we'll see you then.